Hey guys, and welcome back to my prep vlogs. My name is Kat if you're new here, and this is my prep vlog series, obviously. This is episode, I think, 3 officially, 4 if you count my Cabo vlog. So it is actually currently Sunday. I know, I haven't talked to you guys since Cabo. I have recorded a couple clips and I might put them in, or I might just sit down and talk about all of the things I talked about in those clips right now, because I have some things I want to talk about, some things I want to share. But first things first, let's talk about my check-ins from this past week. So Tuesday I checked in with Jamie as normal. Honestly, very happy with how my check-ins were coming off of a vacation where, as you guys saw, I didn't track anything. It was all inclusive. I just kind of relaxed, but I'm really happy with my check-ins. So I was up about a pound. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear the maintenance workers in the dog park like power washing things, but please stop power washing that like post. So very happy with my check-ins coming off of a week-long vacation where I didn't track anything, allowed myself to have more flexibility, some desserts. I was up about a pound, give or take, like a pound, 2 pounds. I think my weight on Tuesday was 147 and some. And I'm not gonna lie, coming back from Cabo, I had a little bit of, I guess, struggles, but before I get into those, I will put my check-in pictures right here. So really honestly happy with my check-in pictures. But coming back from Cabo, I had some really bad digestion issues. Like, already in prep, digestion is something that is, well, can be an issue as your food gets lower. Digestion sometimes you struggle with it. So that's already a factor in there. And then traveling on top of that, being out of my routine always throws my digestion off. So I had some pretty bad digestion issues. Love that. So I was dealing with that and kind of got to me a little bit and kind of got in my head because my weight did actually spike up. I spiked up to like almost 150, which from my lowest check-in or my lowest weigh-in of this prep, that's 5 pounds. So obviously I was pretty upset about it, and I was trying to not get in my head, but obviously it's hard. When you're in prep and the whole goal is to be dropping weight, seeing the scale jump up that much, even if you know it's from something that you didn't necessarily do. It's not like I went and like binge ate or ate off my macros or didn't hit my cardio. It was something that was kind of out of my control. Obviously I didn't have to go to Cabo, but digestion issues is something that's out of my control. So I was trying my best to just not be in my head about it and not overthink it, but obviously a little bit did get to me. But that did sort itself out, thankfully, and I did drop back down, like I said, to 147. I want to say it was like 147.4 for my Tuesday check-in, which is about a pound and a half up from my last check-in with Jamie. So really happy about that. I forgot to mention this in my last vlog, but the change didn't really take effect until I got home from Cabo because I was not 100% obviously on plan while I was there. But cardio did get bumped up to 40 minutes from 35 minutes. So cardio is now currently 40 minutes 4 times a week, and then I have 2 HIIT sessions where I do 8 rounds of sprints and then 5 minutes post. So cardio still isn't anything crazy at all, thank God. Take away my food, but for some reason I just am not a cardio girly. I have really bad ADHD and I just can't be in one spot for 40 minutes at a time. So 40 minutes is usually the point where I split up my cardio into morning and night sessions. So it is really nice to be able to break it up for 20 and 20. And I know some people might be thinking like, oh, 40 minutes, you can't stay in one spot for 40 minutes. You know, at the end of the day, whatever's gonna have me get it done and not kill me mentally, you know, I'm gonna do. It's my life. Let me be. So currently cardio, I split up 20 a.m., 20 p.m. and we are good with that. I do want to sit and chat a little bit because I don't know if you can tell by my appearance, but my appearance is a great representation of how I'm feeling currently. I really thought that I would come back from vacation rejuvenated, refreshed, and ready to go. But if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I feel like I got hit by a frickin' train. And it's not, I don't really know why. It's not like I did some crazy things on vacation where I'd feel the need to rest from. It's not like I went on a super draining vacation. I should feel rejuvenated and recovered, but I really do think it's just from having higher calories, having more food on vacation and feeling good, and then coming right back into it and just dropping right back down. My energy levels are just like going with it. So your girl's been going through it a little bit this week, really feeling low energy. It's pretty bad, honestly. Like, obviously prep, you do start feeling low energy, and I think that's the one thing that most people don't realize or don't really expect when they start their first prep, or you're talking to someone that is in a prep. They usually think, okay, like food, you're hungry, right? But in my opinion, the energy levels are the hardest part, because I'm someone that's pretty high energy naturally. I don't really struggle with having like low energy levels. I like to be go. I like to do things. I like to be energetic, but when those levels start to dip, it is really hard for me. And I feel like I do feel that energy dip pretty quick. But this week it really just laid me on my ass. And it even got to the point where like I took some naps. And if you know me, you know like I'm not a nap girl. I don't nap. I just cannot nap. I don't like to nap. Don't like it. But I even took some naps this week. So if that tells you anything. But I also was dealing with some migraines too, so just overall just feeling really shitty. And I don't know if like the migraines, the low energy, everything, maybe I was feeling a little sick or whatnot, but I am starting to feel a little bit better in terms of energy. Like, obviously I'm not going to get a huge boost of energy for any reason, like there's nothing that would cause me to do that, but a lot of it comes from mindset and how you deal with things. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before, that I'm really just focusing on mind over matter. And it's just super important, especially when you're in a contest prep and things like this are going to happen. Like, your energy is going to dip, you're going to be hungry. Mindset is really everything in a contest prep. It's going to make or break you. If you're having a negative mindset and you're always like kind of having a negative outlook on things, that's going to consume you when you are in a contest prep. And if you can just try your hardest and try to switch your mindset and try to be positive and remind yourself like, this is a choice, like I chose to do this, like no one's making me do this. If I really can't do it, then I don't have to do it. If you just really try to force that mindset, it will help. And you might have to fake it a little bit, and that's okay. But mindset is just huge, and that kind of leads me into something I do really want to talk about and I really think is important. It's kind of talking about the people in your life and the people you give energy to and the people who take energy from you. It's super important to surround yourself with people that are aligned with you and don't bring you down and cause you to have negative energy. Because I've definitely had people in the past when I was in a contest prep who I would be struggling and I would go to them and I would just complain to them, and then they would in turn complain back to me, and it would just kind of be this big ball of negative energy. And if you have that, it's just not going to get you anywhere. So if you're constantly complaining and you complain to your friend, for example, like obviously we're gonna complain. It's normal. Like if you never complain about anything, then I don't know if you're a human. But like if you're just complaining to your friend and then they complain back to you, and it's kind of like woe is me kind of situation, like, oh, our lives are so difficult. It's like, how is that going to help you and help bring you up and help bring the energy up? Yes, you shouldn't be someone who constantly dumps your complaints onto someone else, but if you do have a situation where you're like, hey, I'm struggling a little bit, like tell me I'm not a little bitch. Like, you need to have someone in your corner who is there to remind you these things, or remind you like, hey, you're doing this for a reason, like you can do this, like it's not that hard, it's all in your head. Like someone that uplifts you like that. And it's super important to just make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are constantly giving out energy and not draining you, because I'm sure we've all had those people in the past that every time they reach out to you, you're like, oh, here we go. Like, this person is so much to deal with. Like, I feel drained talking to this person. That's an energy taker. Again, there's going to be situations, like everyone's going to go through those times where they might be struggling and they might need some help from you. But if it's constantly and you're constantly feeling negative energy from a person, like, it might be in your benefit to not associate with that person anymore. And I know that can be hard, especially if that's someone that's a close friend to you, but you have to look out for yourself and you have to love yourself enough to protect your own energy from those kinds of people. I really think it takes valuing yourself and your own energy so much that you don't want people to disrupt that. And that might take a lot of, self-growth to get to that point, or self-realization to get to that point, because a lot of times we just go through life and we don't think, and we just go through the motions and everything is just, this is how life is, blah, blah, blah. But you need to step outside of that and allow yourself to realize what is positive and what's benefiting you and what's not. Right? I hope that really makes sense. But this is something I'm very, very passionate about, because I've had those people in the past that I find myself don't make me the best version of me. And I might love that person so much and value that friendship, but at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself and look out for your energy and surround yourself with people that are going to make you feel the best and bring out the best version of yourself, not someone that you can complain to constantly and talk shit about people and just be negative. And like I said, it might be a hard decision to make and those people might be important to you, but at the end of the day, you're going to feel a weight lifted off your shoulders and feel so much more overall positivity in your life if you're not having that constant negative person around you. So I just think it's really important to every so often, not necessarily audit the people in your life, but really think as you talk to people in your life, is this person benefiting me? Is this a mutually beneficial relationship, or is it one-sided? Is this person always coming to complain to me and it's my job to pick this person up always? And if I need to lean on this person, are they just continuing to lean down and you both fall? Like, you need to have a relationship, whether it's a family member, a friend, a significant other. It has to be mutually beneficial. And if it's not mutually beneficial, then that relationship doesn't have a place in your life. It doesn't need to be in your life. I think people feel like they owe something to people, when in reality, that's not how life works. Like, you don't owe anything to anyone. You owe yourself love and enough self-worth, and you owe yourself that, you owe it to yourself to prioritize yourself and your well-being and your mental health and your energy over someone else's, without that feeling selfish. Because at the end of the day, it's okay to be a little selfish. And I feel like selfish has just such a negative connotation attached to it. When if you're not selfish and you're not looking out for yourself, who else is? Especially if you're dealing with those negative people all the time. You're just going to feel drained all the time. And if no one's looking out for you, the least you can do is look out for yourself. And in my opinion, I would rather be all alone than constantly giving out myself to people that aren't giving themselves back to me. So I just think relationships are huge. And as humans, we are social creatures. Like, we are social. We thrive off social interactions. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you at some point need some sort of social interaction, right? But it's important to make sure that you're giving out your energy to the correct people. And if you aren't giving out to the correct people, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And it's all about loving yourself enough to realize that, and loving yourself enough to prioritize yourself and your well-being and your need and your mental health over something that is going to be negative to you. I always think back, I don't know if you guys learned in like biology class the different types of relationships among different species, but I can't remember all of them, but I know there's one that's like mutually beneficial, one where it's like one person benefits, and one person where it's like a parasite where it like takes from it. I always think back to that. And you don't want any parasites in your life, right? You want mutually beneficial relationships. Again, Sometimes one person might be benefiting and sometimes the other person might be benefiting, but it has to be a two-way street. There has to be both sides. It can't constantly be like this person drains you and never fills up your own cup. Because, you know, if you're not filling up your own cup, then you're just going to empty yourself out. There's nothing to pour. There's not going to be anything left if you're constantly giving it to other people. So really, really important. And especially when you're in a place like a contest prep where you are vulnerable, where you are going to be low energy, where you need to protect that little bit of good energy that you have, you need to protect it. And if you're in a contest prep and you're dealing with all this negative energy, it's just going to drain you a lot faster when you're already feeling drained. And it could make it to the point where you're not successful, to where you're stressing yourself out and stressing your body out so much to where you are going to fail and your body might stop responding. You know, we think of all the things that we can control, like, I mean, you can control who's in your life, but when we think of a contest prep and making progress, yes, we think about doing our cardio, hitting our lifts, eating our food, staying on our macros, doing all that, but there's other things that can affect your progress as well, like your stress in your life. And if you're getting so much stress from different people in your life, that can affect your progress in a negative way. So really, really important to make sure all your relationships are in a great spot. You have people on your team cheering you on, because you're going to get to a point where you're going to need those people, but also at the same time, you can't be that negative person in someone else's life when you are in a contest prep. Like it has to be a two-way street. I've said this probably 14 times in this clip, but it has to be a two-way street. You can't constantly be that negative person and then wonder why no one wants to be around you. But also you can't let yourself be that source for all the negative energy in your life. So it's really, really important to check your relationships around you, check the vibe of all the people that you have in your life, and also check your own vibe. Keep yourself in check. And as long as you are constantly surrounding yourself with that positive energy, you'll see that your energy will naturally be more positive as well. Energy is so I can't even think of the word. Energy is so underrated, and it is probably the most important thing is just people's energy, your energy. Like if you have more positive energy, naturally people are going to want to be around you, more good things are going to happen to you. But I feel like that's also just like a topic for another time. But I just wanted to chat about that because I did feel like that was really important, and it's important throughout life, not just contest prep, but it just check your vibe. Check the vibe of the people around you, and you'll feel a lot better once you cut out some negativity in your life. I promise you that. But that is my spiel for today, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. That's kind of where I'm at. Energy levels still low, but it's just part of the process, and I have to continue to remind myself that this is something I choose to do, something that I do love to do. It's like when you reach this point where things get hard, you have to remember your why, and you have to think and be mature, make a mature decision. Like, is my why more important than how I'm feeling? Like what outweighs what, right? Like my why is so important to me that I can withstand the tiredness. It's just a little bit of fatigue. Like I know I am stronger than that, and I have that willpower to be able to push past that, and I just have to keep a strong mindset. And when you are having these times when you are struggling, like not letting it consume you, but kind of getting into that headspace of like, I can handle anything, and your body's going to want to quit before you reach that point where you're not gonna die. I mean, there are people that have died from bodybuilding, but that's something different. But just because you're tired, you're not gonna die. You can find ways to combat it. You can be stronger than your emotions. Like you are so much stronger than you really, really realize. And that's something that I love about bodybuilding, is it teaches you that every single day. Like I am so much stronger than I think I am, and I'm gonna prove it to myself every single day. And that just is what makes this journey so special and so worth it at the end of the day. But You guys, I could sit here and talk all day long, and that is exactly why I started my YouTube, because I just feel like this information and these messages that I have are so important for other people to hear, whether you know this already or not. It's always nice to get that reminder. Like, that's why I sit here and talk about things for so long, because I talk through my thoughts. I'm an out loud thinker. I have to talk through my thoughts, or I can't really process them the way that I know I can. So by talking, it really helps me think and helps me realize and gives me that reminder of all the things that I'm telling you guys today. So I hope that you guys take good things away from this little chat, and I hope it does help just one person, and I hope it gives that reminder that, you know, your energy is important, you're stronger than you think you are, and you can do the freaking hard things. Hard is subjective. Nothing is hard. It's all in your head. Like, you can do it, I promise you. So that is my spiel for today. I hope you guys have the best day ever, because it is up to you. If by chance someone who went to my middle school watches this, you'll know when I say make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. That's something our principal came on the little announcements every single day and said, and yes, we all laughed about it at the time, but it's so freaking true. It's like, make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. It's your choice to make it a great day. You can either let the little things affect you, or you can laugh them off. So make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.